Hello and welcome to my Minecraft 100 days video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's start. So on day 1 I traveled quite a bit till I found myself this nice looking place. I built this house here that you can see, I got a bed, I planted some wheat for food, and then I started digging my tunnel. On day 2 I smelled the iron I got accidentally while digging my tunnel and cooked the food I would need for the near future. On day 3 I got my first set of tools made from wood, some iron picks, and a full set of armor. I decided to mine some sand because I want a glass roof, Subnautica style. On day 4 I placed the glass that melted on my roof. I'm gonna need a lot more if I want to make this full roof, but at least now my bed doesn't get wet from rain. With the wheat I got, I set out to find some cows that I'd seen near me in order to make a cow farm. They provide leather and food, which are important supplies. The first cow was trapped, now I needed one more. Soon after I got some wandering around and my first cow farm was made. The morning of day 5 I finished my glass roof, although the left row is missing because I don't have enough sand at the moment. I also found some clay that I could use for bricks later on. Day 6 I tried to make a cow farm and I barely fit my cows into that one black hole. Using the sand that I got, I remade my floor into a sandstone floor. On day 7 I placed some chests inside in order to organize my storage better. We'll see how organized it will be by the end of the 100 days. Sand mining also commenced because I need to finish that floor. On day 8, I accidentally ruined the cows' farm and they were all out. This wasn't the cows' escape, it was my fault, and I had to re-put them into that hole again. Of course, this was way harder than it needed to be. I also finished the floor and now had a nice looking home. Deciding that the place in front of my house is not the best choice for a wheat farm, I decided to create it on top of the hill behind the house. On day 9, I was still working on the wheat farm. I made some stairs, got some wood for the fence around, and placed the torches. The wheat farm was finally done. Now the only thing left to do is spread my seeds all over the place so I can make more and more wheat. So I can make more and more wheat. Quickly moving on from that, on day 10 I placed stairs so I could go up easier. The sugarcane around the river was growing, also I could make enchanting easier when I finally get those diamonds. Thinking that my house was empty, I decided to add some furniture. I started by making a bath and later on making a toilet as well. Finally, my house looked like the house. On day 11, I removed the dirt in front of the house and I will replace it with sandstone and sandstone stairs later on, so it will look like a porch. Problem is the sand, because I cannot remove every bit of sand around my house, it will look horrible. Now, let's go to the mines and try to find some diamonds because we need them. Also, the cows escaped, the return of the big beef happened. The rest of the day was spent on miscellaneous tasks. Day 12 was spent mining and making more and more tunnels. I found some shafts, so I decided to explore and light them a little bit. Other than resources, I found 2 cave spider spawners, 12 blocks from each other. This will come very handy later on for XP, string, and spider eyes for potions. The rest of the day was spent lighting caves. Day 13, more mining. Those diamonds don't want to be found. Never mind, I actually found a 6th vein. Also, it seems that if I had mined at Y11 and not Y12, I would have found them way faster, which makes me sad. Day 14, I started making books for the enchanting table and also kept making sandstone because I will need more of it. And now that Cow Fiesta happened, and once again, it's my fault. And just stop dealing with these cows. In 2 weeks, you've spent 3 whole days on a 100 days video on cows. Go find a village or make a farm or something. Good. Finally. Day 15, I'm still looking for a village, but I found a horse, and I have no way of taming it right now, which makes me sad. I wandered for the rest of the day and night, but I didn't find anything, so back home I go. On day 16, I made a garbage can. I still need lava at this point, but it's a garbage can. And I also fixed the water outside my door. My front porch is looking good. Also, bye cow. The rest of the day was spent caving and lighting, preparations for my double spawner farm. Day 17, I finally got my first diamond chest piece and my enchanting table. Things are looking good and I'm making progress. I just need more of everything. I still don't have any good farms and I don't have a place where I can put my enchanting table, so I'm gonna make a 2nd floor downstairs. Day 18, I did miscellaneous work. I made a water elevator for my enchanting room, which is just a column of water at the moment. I planted more seeds, hell yeah. I fed the cows. And I started building a nether portal because I want my water elevator to be with soul stand and magma blocks. On the end of day 18, I finally got myself that horse. On day 19, I finally got myself some enchantments, although not the best that will help me somehow. I spent the rest of the day mining. I'll need more levels, more items, and more resources. I also finally got myself a decent trash can, even though I still fell into it. Day 20, I just mined and I finished my nether portal. Nothing much here, to be honest. Day 21 to 24 is the day I finally start my XP farm. My double spawner will be very useful. Using some YouTube tutorials, I started mining a room 9x9x9 and I linked both the spawners at the same place so I could get double the drops and XP. As far as you can see, it took me many tries and mistakes, but I did it and now the spawner works. Day 25 came and it's been more than 10 days since I dealt with the cows, so I thought it would be best to finally just make a water dispenser farm when I can feed them very easily. At the end of the day, I just had that. Day 26 and 27, I started clearing out woods in front of my house where I'm going to make a villager breeder and maybe a trading hall. I still don't have a singular villager near me. I went finally through to the portal for the first time and I made quartz, magma blocks, soul sand, and some glowstone so I can get rid of those torches. Of course, I had the golden boots because I didn't want to get killed by pigmen. On day 28, I explored. I found a destroyed portal or a ruined portal, I don't know, and some items on it. On the night of day 28, I had an intense 1v1 with the creeper on a sand island 400 blocks away from home. I just kept mining sand and sandstone all night. Day 29, I ventured, found some stuff, but nothing too impressive. The best thing was this drowned temple which had a treasure map on it. Day 30 to 33. I was home and I finally had enough materials to finish my porch outside. The porch now looks beautiful. Since I had the sandstone now, I thought, why not make the walls prettier on the enchanting room? So I did. I replaced the walls and the floor with sandstone. And then I thought, why shouldn't I make that elevator that I had planned? And it took me about 1.5 hours in real life to make a simple block swapper that would swap magma and soul sand. Like, I haven't done redstone in years, but like, what the hell? And it finally worked out. This took me all the way up to day 33. On day 34, I said to myself, you know what? Let's go find a village. And some 100 blocks away, I found one. I got pumpkin, potatoes, and some other bits and bobs that I managed to steal. On day 35, I started transporting a villager by boat. Now this is very hard, especially with me not knowing what I'm doing and because it's my first time moving from the village to my house. Halfway through, I left the villager there and I started to backtrack to my home, finding a better way than what I was originally planning. I did find a lake near the village and I started to connect that lake with my river that I have in front of my house. I also crafted some rails because I will need them for the transport. On day 36, I collected more rails from my shafts and I kept making rivers. All I needed to do was place the rails from the village to the river and I had a fast way to transport my villagers. And on the 37th night, I finally had my first villager in front of my house. Day 38, I fed my cows, no escapees this time, just victims. I also started to make my villager breeder. The area was cleared already, I planted my potatoes and I placed my villager in there. Now one more is all that's needed and the rest of the breeder. Day 39 to 40, I worked on getting a new villager to the breeder. As always, things were more difficult than needed because they're villagers and they are a pain. The enchanting room is finally done and now I can enchant all the way up to level 30. Day 41, on the night of that day, I finally finished my breeder. Now it's just time to wait for the babies to spawn. On day 42, I started preparing for a villager trading hall because I will need one of those enchantments and frankly the enchanting table and luck alone won't do it. I also remembered that I needed to cover the entirety of my villager breeder with glass 3 blocks from the walls so they don't get hit by lightning and turn on witches. So I started to work on that. On day 43, I ran out of glass so I started to mine sand wherever I could. While waiting for the glass to smelt, I went mining. I needed more diamonds and more resources. The pickaxe that I have now has some decent enchantments like durability and efficiency, so mining with it is fun. I do need a fortune pickaxe though. Day 44, I still mined and lit up whatever caves I could find. On day 45, I finally smelt all the glass and placed where it's needed. I ran out of glass again, so I just used dirt. I will replace it later. Still no villagers spawn. This is making me worried. Day 45 to 49. I thought it's finally time to start working on my mega base, the Dracula castle. Yes, you heard it right. It's a 100 by 100 castle that's made out of stone, holding everything from farms to villagers to everything I may need on it, with secret rooms, passageways, and things like that. So first, a dirt layout of the floor. This project will not be finished by the 100 days mark because it's impossible, but I'll do my best to make as much progress as I can. I ran out of dirt, so I made a supply run on the hills nearby. After gathering a few stacks of dirt, like 8 or 9, I thought to myself, I know why my villager breeder isn't working. The Fletcher must be the problem. So I went and I got a new villager who's a farmer, so that it may or may not spawn more villagers. We're gonna see. The guy is now in his place, and thanks to some bone meal, I managed to completely fill up the floor with potatoes and fill some of their inventory. Now back to the castle. More dirt placement was needed, so I did it. I started to think, why would I make the entire thing out of dirt first, when I can just make the giant cross that says that this is 100 by 100. I also moved all the copper blocks that I had into a wall rather than a floor stack thing, because it wasn't turning green at all. On the 49th day, I started making a villager trading hall location. I was going for a ruined prison theme type, but I think it came out good. We also got more villager spawns, so the fix I did was definitely worth the pain. I also got all the res that I placed on the village because I will use them to transport my villagers into the trading hall. Day 50, I made the mechanism for the villager moving and I finished the template of the trading hall. I learned that villagers are better when they can see each other, so I replaced the blocks in the middle of them with slabs, and I made my first villager a librarian because I need mending first. And on the 50th night, I got myself an efficiency 5 villager. At the end of day 51, after a painstakingly tiring day of chasing them around and swapping and checking trades, I got a villager that trades mending, one that trades clay, and a soul touch villager as well. Day 52, I went mining again. Day 53, I started working on a melon and pumpkin farm. Using YouTube tutorials, I made it out of polished deep slate, because I think it looks cool, and I can use all the deep slate that I have on me that is staying on my chest for absolutely no reason. The rest of day 53 to 55. The farm is finished and I spent the night mining for deep slate because I ran out of it. I also have forgotten to update on 2 different things. I named my horse M8 Competition Sport for the car-loving viewers of mine. You will appreciate that, and it's my dream car. And I also got a fortune iron pickaxe by luck. Also, it seems that the lighting on my villager trading hall was bad because now I have lost 2 of my villagers. I used deep slate to fix my farm and now it looks awesome. On day 56, I was mining all night and then I came up in the morning. I started to work on another farm, this time a sugarcane. On day 57, my sugarcane farm was looking better and better, and at the end of the day it was done. I didn't want to make it a 0-tick one because it feels like I was cheating, so I made it a normal one. On day 58, I got myself some books and I leveled up my villagers. At the entrance, I placed some iron doors so that it would look better and only I would be able to go through them. I got myself some farmers and a fisherman because the fisherman can trade string and I have a string farm. But I don't have any potatoes and carrots farm yet, so that will have to wait. On day 59, I renamed my pickaxe to subscribe because why not? And I also started to think on a design for my castle floor. First, I was thinking of a mix between stone brick, stone and andesite, but I didn't like it, so I removed it and I thought about a better pattern. And you design it with stone, second layer with smooth stone, and the third layer with stone bricks. Then a fourth layer with stone. And so the pattern repeats. On day 60, I took all of the things I built down and I focused only on the pattern. In the end, it looked something like this. After calculating everything, the castle floor will be 98 by 98, and I will have 7 patterns next to each other, from one end to the other. On day 61, I thought that the middle of the floor isn't the best place to start working on the pattern, because the calculations will be done wrong and I will have to repeat it many times. So I thought starting from one corner is better than starting from the middle. And the corner that I chose to work on is the corner that's nearest to my farms. This way I will also load everything while working on the castle. On day 62, I worked with villagers, and on day 63, I started clearing some areas around the villagers. My farms aren't doing the best at the moment, but the more I work on this area, the more I get. I thought about what new farms I need to build, and an iron farm is the best thing at the moment. So I started to work on it. It took me some time to get everything done because villagers are a pain, and I also needed to capture a zombie for the chamber. I did create a chamber by mistake on the wrong level, so I had to redo the whole section, which cost more time. And on day 69, nice by the way, the farm finished and I had my first iron golem spawns. Now I don't have to worry about iron or anything else that's related to it. On day 70 and 71, I emptied my inventory and went strip mining for resources. I would mostly need stone for my castle floor and deep slate for my farms. I also organized my inventory with a trick I knew, so I would pick up whatever I wanted and nothing else. On day 72, I continued on the castle floor since I had the materials needed for it. On day 73, I realized that my melon and pumpkin farm was producing only pumpkins, so I swapped some of it for melon. Maybe now it will be better. I also took my M8 competition sport and I went through the land in search for carrots and kelp. This will be very useful for my farms. I found a village but no carrots. Now all I had to do was go to the sea and come back home. On day 74, I was home and I had my kelp with me. I started to work on a farm for it. This will be a self-sufficient farm where the kelp will turn into dried kelp and into kelp blocks, and this will keep going until I run out of it, which is basically never. The farm was finished on day 75. I went down into the mines for the rest of the day because deep slate is low again. This polished deep slate costs a lot. On day 76, I fixed my pickaxe and my sword because both of them have mending on them, and I went back to the surface. The fixing of them took me all day. On day 77, the floor needed work, so I kept doing it. One full row was finally finished and it's time to do the other corner, so I keep loading my farms. I have Kate in a spot on my farms, and so the day 78 began. We're getting close to the end. Day 78 I dealt with villagers, and I decided that I needed that carrot, so I went off. On day 81 I was collecting sand and was looking for treasures. The land around me was very beautiful and I hadn't watched any of it. Plus, glass is always needed, so I mined sand. I also raided sunken ships, found treasures, and in one of them I finally found my carrot. Also, accidentally, I found myself a bamboo on my way home, so I immediately thought about a farm for it. This will be very useful for fuel and sticks. Day 82, I was back home and was making more polished deep slate. I had to convert deep slate into cobbled deep slate so I could make polished deep slate. Jesus. Enchanting and villager trading continued. I wanted to be as much set up as I could for the day 100. Day 83, preparations for my carrot and potato farm began. I also replaced that dirt that I said with glass. That took me about 40 days, but it's done now. The farm took all the way up until day 87 to be built. Now all I had to do was wait for the carrots and potatoes to flow onto my chest so I could use them for trading and get more mending books. The next big project was the bamboo farm. I decided to make a big one because I would use it for fuel and for sticks for trading. It took a few days considering I ran out of deep slate midway through, and observers, and pistons, and bamboo, so I had to wait for all of them to come together. This took from day 88 to day 94. And now we come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope if you enjoyed it, you left a like and subscribe. Consider checking out my Twitch channel because I don't get any money from YouTube because YouTube doesn't have monetization where I'm from. So the best way to support me would be to subscribe, watch my other videos, and follow my Twitch channel. Oh, and I forgot. From day 94 to day 100, I just AFK'd at my farm because I had taken a beating and I needed to fix everything on me. I also put everything on mending, which is pretty cool, but I don't have the footage to show it because I forgot. Here's a world tour of everything that's happened taken from a cinematic camera. あったちょっかまか登場高く生まれて飛び出た地球上だ